Have you ever looked in the mirror and quietly asked yourself, where did that strong, energetic version of me go? Maybe you've noticed it in subtle ways: less drive, more fatigue, and moments of intimacy that feel distant, almost like watching a movie you once starred in, but now only remember. What if I told you that a single item sitting in your kitchen pantry right now, yes, plain old baking soda, could help restore your circulation and gently reignite the vitality you thought was long gone? Hello and welcome, gentlemen. My name is William Harris. For over 30 years, I've walked alongside men in their 60s, 70s, and beyond. Men just like you, helping them rebuild their health, recover their strength, and reconnect with the people they love. And today I want to speak plainly, man to man. Let's face it, as we get older, things start to shift. Your energy doesn't arrive as quickly in the morning. Your strength starts to dip, not dramatically all at once, but quietly, subtly. And the confidence you once felt in the most intimate areas of life begins to fade. Not because you care any less, not because the love is gone, but because something inside just isn't flowing the way it used to. What surprises many men is that this isn't about aging in the traditional sense. It's not about being too old. It's about circulation. When the blood in your body no longer moves the way it once did, everything starts to feel different. Your mind is less sharp. Your muscles don't respond. Your intimate moments become rare, or even feel out of reach. But here's the encouraging news. Circulation can be supported naturally, and the solution might be simpler than you think. Baking soda, something you've probably had in your kitchen for years. When used properly and consistently, not as a miracle cure, but as part of a natural routine, it can help support your blood vessels, cleanse the bloodstream, and encourage that smooth, healthy flow that powers every system in your body. And I'm not talking about prescriptions or trendy supplements. No needles, no expensive pills. Just real tools for real men who want to feel whole again. Before we go deeper into how it works, I'd love to know something about you. Yes, you, the one watching this right now. What's your name? Where in the world are you tuning in from? Whether it's sunny Arizona or a small quiet town in Minnesota, it brings me joy to know who's here with me. Please take a moment and leave a quick comment down below. And if you find what I share meaningful, helpful, or even just thought-provoking, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. That's the easiest way to let me know you're here and that you want more insights like this, designed especially for men who want to take control of their health again in the second half of life. Because that's what this channel, Senior Health Boost, is all about. Now, let's get to the real heart of today's topic. What's really going on inside your body after 60? Why do blood vessels begin to narrow? Why do men lose that edge, not just in energy, but in their ability to feel close, confident, and connected? To understand that, we have to zoom in and look at a powerful but often overlooked shift that happens silently within your body. The gradual decline of nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is a molecule your body naturally produces to keep blood vessels flexible and open. It's like a gentle messenger that tells your arteries, hey, stay relaxed so we can keep this blood moving. In your younger years, your nitric oxide production was high. That's why your energy, responsiveness, and circulation all worked like a well-oiled machine. But after 60, production slows. Blood vessels start to stiffen. Circulation decreases, not only to your heart or muscles, but also to your brain, your skin, and yes, your most private, intimate areas. And that affects everything: how you think, how you sleep, how you perform, and how you connect with the one you love. I'll never forget a man I once worked with. Let's call him Dave. He looked at me across the consultation room and said with a cracked voice, "William, I don't feel like a man anymore." He wasn't weak. He wasn't ill. He was simply disconnected from his own body, from his sense of vitality, from the closeness he once felt so naturally in his marriage And stories like his are far too common, because what's happening inside, slow blood flow, reduced nitric, oxide, aging vessels, doesn't show on the outside, until it does, until the energy fades, until the spark dims, until confidence slips away, not from lack of effort, but from a lack of understanding what's truly going on under the surface. So now that we've opened the door and looked inside, what can you do about it? That's exactly where we're heading next. And I'll show you how a small shift, as simple as using baking soda in a specific way, can help support your circulatory system, improve oxygen delivery throughout the body, and even enhance your ability to feel connected and fully alive again. Ready for that next step? Let's move into part 2, where I'll walk you through exactly what happens inside the body after 60 and why this simple habit could quietly restore more than just your blood flow. It might just restore you. So now that we've peeled back the layers and seen how age slows down your body's natural circulation, it's time to talk about what that actually feels like in everyday life. When the current inside starts to dim, you might not notice it right away. It doesn't hit you like a wave. It's quieter than that, like a light slowly dimming in a room you didn't realize was getting darker. You go for a walk around the block, and suddenly you need to catch your breath. You used to fall asleep like a rock, but now your nights feel like you're tossing and turning on the surface of sleep, never sinking deep enough to wake up refreshed. Your hands and feet feel colder than usual, even when the room is warm. And intimacy, what once felt so natural, so effortless, now feels distant, like a door you can see but just can't reach. But here's what most people never realize. Even things like brain fog, forgetfulness, or that sense of blah you can't quite explain can all be traced back to one common root. Your blood isn't flowing the way it used to, and I always remind my patients this. Just because something has slowed down doesn't mean it's gone. Slowing down is not the same as giving up. Your blood flow can improve. Your body still remembers how to respond. It just needs the right support. You don't need harsh chemicals, invasive procedures, or a suitcase full of pills. What if the answer was already in your kitchen? What if a simple, humble ingredient, baking soda, could be the spark that starts your inner fire flowing again? Let's explore that together. Part 2. How baking soda works. A small powder with mighty potential, I'll be honest with you. The very first time I heard someone mention baking soda as a support for circulation, I chuckled. I thought, you mean the stuff we stick in the fridge to absorb odors? But curiosity got the better of me, and I began to dig into the research. And what I found surprised me. You see, baking soda, or sodium bicarbonate, isn't just for baking or soothing an upset stomach. In the body, it plays a crucial role in helping maintain pH balance. In other words, how acidic or alkaline your internal systems are. And that balance? It matters more than most people realize, especially when it comes to blood flow. As we age, especially past 60, our body's ability to self-regulate pH starts to falter. Stress, processed foods, dehydration, and lack of physical activity all add up, tipping the internal scale toward acidity. What happens when your body becomes too acidic? Your blood vessels tighten, your circulation slows, microblockages form, less oxygen, less nutrient delivery, especially to the brain, the heart, and, yes, the reproductive organs. That's not just about physical health. That's about your identity, your relationships, your spark. You may start feeling more tired during conversations. You might feel less connected to your partner, not out of lack of love, but because something is missing inside. A man once told me, I feel like I'm here, but I'm not really here. That's what poor blood flow feels like, a quiet disconnect that spreads through the body and the mind. Now, here's where baking soda comes in. When consumed properly and in small amounts, baking soda helps shift your body back to a more alkaline state. That doesn't mean turning your body into a chemistry lab. It means creating an environment where blood vessels can relax again, where inflammation is lowered, and where your nitric oxide production, the very foundation of healthy circulation, can return to normal. Think of it like unclogging a blocked river. The water was always meant to flow. You're just giving it a clear path again. Studies have shown that balancing your internal pH doesn't just affect digestion, it supports blood pressure regulation, lowers systemic inflammation, and enhances oxygen delivery to all areas of the body, including those that drive intimacy and connection. Of course, it's not magic. You won't feel a lightning bolt of energy overnight, but imagine this: your sleep becoming deeper and more restorative, your mind feeling clearer and sharper when you wake up, the warmth returning to your hands, your feet, and the parts of you that still long to feel alive and loved. These are not dreams. They are real results when your circulation improves and your inner chemistry is back in balance. And all of this with a single teaspoon of something you already own. But wait, how do you use baking soda properly? How much? When? With what? Don't worry, that's what we'll walk through step by step in the next part of this video. Because like any natural tool, baking soda works best when used wisely and consistently, not in excess, not randomly, but with care. And friend, if you're still with me right now, I want to say thank you. That tells me you care. You're not giving up. You're here for answers and for transformation, not just for yourself, but maybe even for someone you love. Please take a second and drop the number 1 in the comments below so I know you're still watching and that we're walking this path together. And if you find this kind of content helpful, straightforward, honest, and built for men in their 60s and beyond, go ahead and subscribe to Senior Health Boost. Click that bell icon too so you never miss a video that could help change your life naturally. Now in the next section, we'll go deeper into how to use baking soda the right way, when to take it, how to pair it with your meals, and the specific signals your body may give you as it begins to respond. Because once you understand the method, you'll realize it's not just about baking soda, it's about giving your body the chance to heal, one simple, powerful step at a time. Let's continue. As your blood begins to flow more freely again, something you may not have felt in years, real. Change starts to show up in small but meaningful ways. You wake up with more clarity, your legs feel lighter, you walk with a bit more bounce in your step, and most of all, you begin to feel present again, with your body, with your mind, and with your partner. Of course, let's be clear. This isn't magic. It's not some miracle trick from a late-night ad. It's simple physiology. You're not forcing your body to do something unnatural. You're just creating the right conditions for your body to do what it was always designed to do. And perhaps the best part? It's not expensive. It's not complicated. You don't need a prescription or a specialist. You just need the right method, the right amount, and a little consistency. So how exactly should you use baking soda in a way that's both effective and safe? Let's walk through it together, step by step. Part 3, the right dose, the right time, the right way. Here's something I've learned after working with thousands of patients over the years. It's not the big decisions that bring the biggest change. It's the small things, done with care, done consistently, that create lasting impact, and baking soda is no different. I remember a gentleman named Robert. He was 68, a retired engineer, disciplined, intelligent, the kind of man who follows instructions to the letter. He told me, "Doc, I eat well. I walk every day. I'm in bed by 9. But I feel like I'm moving in slow motion. I'm doing everything right, so what's wrong?" He wasn't lazy. He wasn't sick. But something wasn't clicking. We didn't overhaul his life. We didn't hand him a dozen supplements. We made one tiny adjustment. We changed how he was, using baking soda. And within 2 weeks, his energy was back. His mood had lifted. Even his connection with his wife had quietly, beautifully returned. So let me share that exact method with you now. Step 1. Choose the right. Baking soda. Start with pure food-grade baking soda. No additives, no aluminum, no extra performance labels. Just the plain stuff from a reputable source. You'd be surprised how many generic brands sneak in things that dilute its effectiveness or irritate your stomach. Step 2. The proper mix use. 1 nutcher 4 teaspoons of baking soda. Stir it gently into about 8 ounces of room temperature water. Avoid cold water. It can slow down absorption and irritate the stomach lining. Make sure the powder fully dissolves. You want the water to look clear, not cloudy. That's when you know it's ready. Step 3. Timing is everything. The best time to drink this is first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, ideally before breakfast and even before coffee. Why? Because after a night of fasting, your body tends to lean more acidic, and this is when baking soda has its most profound alkalizing effect. It gently encourages your body's pH back toward balance and gives your blood vessels a chance to relax, open up, and start flowing again. You might even notice your breath deepening or your shoulders relaxing, because better blood flow calms the nervous system too. Step 4. Frequency matters. This is not something to overdo. Start with 3 to 4 times a week, not every single day. Spacing it out gives your body time to respond naturally. You're not trying to bulldoze change, you're inviting your body to remember its rhythm. You can think of it like watering a plant. Too much, too often, and the roots drown. But the right amount, at the right intervals, that's where life begins again. Optional boosters, if you'd like. If you want to enhance the effect just a little more, here are 2 safe additions. A slice of fresh lemon adds natural vitamin C and flavor. A pinch of unprocessed mineral salt supports adrenal and electrolyte balance, but make no mistake, even on its own, this simple mixture has the power to create noticeable change. What happens next? After a week or 2, some people report sharper focus. Others feel their legs move easier, their sleep improves, or their spark starts returning. That's what Robert told me. I'm not running marathons, he laughed, but something inside me feels like it's finally switched back on. And most touching of all, he added, intimacy with my wife doesn't feel like work anymore. It feels natural again. And that, my friend, is what this is really about. Not baking soda, not chemistry, not even circulation. It's about you reconnecting with the man you still are inside, the one who wants to wake up with purpose, the one who wants to feel love, give love, and be present again, the one who's not done yet. But wait, there's a catch. Like any tool, no matter how natural or effective, if you use it the wrong way, it can backfire. Take too much, your stomach might rebel. Take it at the wrong time, you'll reduce its benefit. Ignore your body's signals, you'll miss the chance to adjust. That's why the next section is so important. We're going to go over the most common mistakes men make with baking soda, why they matter, and how to avoid them entirely. Because this isn't about guessing, it's about being intentional, being wise, and honoring your body with the attention it deserves. So before we move on, if you've made it this far in the video, thank you. Thank you for caring enough about yourself to learn. Thank you for staying curious. And thank you for being here, not just for yourself, but for your partner, your health, and your future. If you're still with me, go ahead and leave the number 3 in the comments below. That way I know I'm not walking this journey alone. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Senior Health Boost and turn on the bell icon so you never miss a chance to strengthen your body, mind, and relationships, naturally and powerfully. Now that we've explored how baking soda, when used correctly, can gently support your circulation and vitality, it's time to talk about something equally important: what not to do. Because as simple as this method may seem, the biggest risks often come from overconfidence. Some folks think it's just baking soda, right? Harmless stuff? What could go wrong? And that, my friend, is exactly where the problems begin. Mistake number 1, thinking more is better. This is the most common trap. Let's say you try the 1/4 teaspoon dose we talked about. After a week, you start feeling more energized. You sleep better. Maybe your walks are brisker, your thoughts a bit clearer. That's when the temptation creeps in. If a little helped, wouldn't more help faster? But your body doesn't work like that, increasing to a full teaspoon or even half a teaspoon without guidance is a mistake. More baking soda doesn't mean more benefits. In fact, too much sodium bicarbonate can upset your stomach, elevate your blood pressure, cause bloating, and overwork your kidneys. The key is to support your body, not shock it. Gentle progress will always go further than aggressive shortcuts. Mistake number 2, using it every day without breaks. Even though baking soda is natural and found in every kitchen, it still needs to be used with rhythm, not relentlessly. Your body has its own healing cycle. It needs time to adapt, respond, and restore balance. Using baking soda daily without pause can overwhelm your system and actually reduce its effectiveness. I typically recommend sticking to 3-4 times a week, spaced out. Let your body work with the support, not become dependent on it. You're not trying to replace your body's function. You're trying to remind it how to function well. Mistake number 3, using the wrong type of baking soda. This one often flies under the radar. Not all baking soda is the same. When using it for internal purposes, it must be labeled pure food grade, with no additives, no aluminum, and no anti-caking agents, and whatever you do, never take it dry, not even a pinch. I've had patients who thought they'd save time by tossing a bit straight into their mouth. Within minutes, I got panicked calls about burning throats, nausea, or stomach irritation. Always mix it into water. Always dissolve it fully. That small step makes a big difference. Mistake number 4, skipping the conversation with your doctor. This one isn't just a safety issue. It's about respecting your body. If you're living with high blood pressure, kidney disease, or are on a low-sodium diet, then baking soda, even in small doses, can shift your body's electrolyte balance more than you might expect. Talking to your healthcare provider before starting isn't overcautious. It's smart. It shows you care about doing things the right way, not just the quick way. Even natural tools need responsible use. Why? This matters. So much I'm not telling you all this to scare you. Quite the opposite. I'm sharing it to empower you, because once you know what to watch out for, you become the kind of person who takes action with awareness, not guesswork. You'll be far more likely to get real results and avoid the setbacks that frustrate so many others. When used properly, baking soda can truly open the door to renewed energy, sharper focus, and a deeper connection with yourself and your partner. And the best part? It all starts with just one small action. Part 5, your first action step. Start small. Shift big. If you're still with me at this point, I want to say something personal. Thank you, not just for watching, but for choosing to believe that your health still matters, that your vitality still matters, that you still matter. That tells me you're not just curious, you're ready, and the great news is you don't need to change your whole life overnight. You don't need to become a wellness guru or go on some expensive health retreat. You just need one small habit, done at the right time, with the right mindset. Here's how you begin. Tomorrow morning, before breakfast, before your first sip of coffee, pour yourself a glass of room temperature water, about 8 ounces. Take 1/4 teaspoon of pure food grade baking soda and stir it in slowly until it dissolves completely. Now, here's the most important part. Don't just drink it. Be present. Take a moment. Breathe. As you sip, remind yourself, this is for me, for my blood, for my mind, for my connection. You're not just drinking water. You're creating the space for something new to return to your life. Clarity, energy, ease, and emotional presence. And that small act, done gently and consistently, can become the spark that lights up everything else. What comes next? Within days or weeks, depending on your body, you may begin to notice deeper sleep, clearer mornings, faster walks, less tension, more natural intimacy, and most of all, a growing sense that you're coming back to life. You don't need big promises or expensive programs. You just need a starting point that's rooted in simplicity, science, and self-respect. That's what this is. Before we move on, if you found value in today's message, would you do something for me? Leave a number 4 in the comments below. That's how I know you're still here, still listening, still walking this path beside me. And if you haven't already, now's the time to subscribe to Senior Health Boost and hit the notification bell. Why? Because the next video we're working on will show you how to combine this morning routine with simple breathing techniques and gentle stretching to multiply its effects on your circulation, energy, and confidence. This is your time. Let's keep moving forward together. You're not just drinking baking soda in water, you're gently resetting your internal rhythm, inviting your body back into a state of balance it's quietly been yearning for. Now, repeat this habit 3 or 4 times a week, not every single day. Space it out on non-consecutive days to give your system room to adapt and respond in its own time. You're not pushing it. You're partnering with it. What matters isn't how aggressively you pursue change, but how consistently you show up for yourself. With each passing week, you may start to notice the difference, not through big dramatic shifts, but in the subtle whispers of transformation. Maybe you wake up with a bit more clarity. Your steps feel lighter, more grounded. Your mood begins to lift more often than not. And suddenly, conversations flow easier, smiles feel less forced. The connection you thought was fading slowly begins to return, both with yourself and with the people you love. And while you walk this journey, please, if you have any underlying medical conditions, especially involving your kidneys or blood pressure, have an honest talk with your doctor before you begin. This isn't about chasing quick results or playing chemist with your body. It's about listening inward, supporting your system in a way that's respectful, intentional, and deeply rooted in care, because the goal here isn't to go back in time. It's not to reclaim your edge just for pride's sake. It's to return to a more authentic, grounded, and energized version of yourself, the one that's been patiently waiting under the surface, ready to rise again. And that journey, it starts with presence. If there's only one thing I hope you take with you from this video, it's this. You have never lost your worth. Not in the hard days, not in the quiet doubts, not even in the moments when your body felt unfamiliar or your spirit felt dimmed. That ache you sometimes carry, that sense of slowing down. It's not your ending, it's your invitation. Your body is speaking to you, not through pain, but through whisper, not through failure, but through gentle signs. It's saying, I'm still here. Will you meet me where I am? Over the past several minutes, we've talked about nitric oxide, about the decline in circulation, and about how something as simple as baking soda, used the right way, can gently help support blood flow, reduce inflammation, and reignite a sense of energy that too many people mistakenly believe is gone forever. We've explored physiology, but more than that, we've explored hope, not blind optimism, but real, lived proof from men like Robert and others who made the decision to try again, to listen again, to care again, for themselves and for the relationships that matter most. And now, let me say this from the heart, not just as someone who's studied health for over 3 decades, but as someone who's sat beside hundreds of men in the quiet of their most vulnerable moments. Your age is not the enemy. Giving up is. You are not done, not even close. Because the moment you take that first sip in the morning, the moment you choose to move forward with presence and intention, the moment you whisper, I'm ready, you begin writing the next chapter of your life. Not the old story, a better one. If you've ever stood at the sink in the morning, too tired to face the day, if you've ever gone silent at dinner, your mind heavy and your heart unsure, if you've ever pulled away from your partner, not out of anger, but out of a quiet fear that you've somehow become less, please hear me now. you are not alone, and more importantly, you are not too late. Because sometimes all it takes is one small glass of water, one new habit, one moment of care, genuine, unforced care, and from there, your life can begin to move. Again, in new ways, in meaningful ways, and in ways that reconnect you with everything you thought you'd lost. So if this video has sparked something in you, even a glimmer, I have a small favor to ask. First, give this video a like. That's the simplest way to let me know this message mattered to you. Second, subscribe to Senior Health Boost and turn on notifications so you'll never miss another video crafted for people just like you, who want to grow stronger, wiser, and more connected naturally and sustainably. And third, share this video with someone you care about. A friend, a brother, a partner, anyone who might need a quiet nudge, a moment of encouragement, or a reminder that change is possible at any age, because you never know. Sometimes a single video, a single message, is exactly what someone needs to begin again, and if you're willing, I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me. Where are you in your health journey right now? What part of this message stayed with you the most? Because your voice, your story, it may be the light someone else needs to take their first step. Thank you for watching, thank you for staying, and thank you for not giving up on yourself. From all of us at Senior Health Boost, we're honored to walk beside you.